Hello and welcome to my second color with me. Yeah, last time we did the Score Bunny with acrylic markers. Today we're doing Peronel from Dragon Quest II with colored pencils. And I am actually not using my Ohuhu pencils for this. I am using my Faber-Castell Black Edition, which I've used to color little flat things before, like this Pichu. But now I kind of want to see how well they blend, so we'll be doing that. To start with, I'm doing a technique that, even though I used to almost exclusively use colored pencils, I've heard of but never used before, and that's laying down shading before I go in with the main color. So I've got this nice bluish gray. I like to shade in blues. And I'm going to start laying that down on Peronel's skin where I want my shadows to be. I only very recently started playing Dragon Quest at all using the 2D HD remake. And when the characters were first being introduced when I started Dragon Quest II, I thought that Matilda was going to be my favorite, but proceeding through the games it has ended up being Peronel, which I've only just now officially picked up Matilda as part of the party, so we'll see how that goes. But, yeah, I like Matilda a lot. A little bit around her hair here. Her design and most of her demeanor says typical sweet magic healer girl, but she's actually better with offensive spells and full of rage, which good for her. A little shadow here under her mouth. I actually did not line this one, which I would have normally done with colored pencils. I just took my kneaded eraser and went over the graphite pencil lines to lighten them up. They probably won't be entirely covered by the colored pencil, but, you know, that's okay. Mainly done her skin. I'm just going to get some in on her clothes now, which I'll be going back over that with white. Oh, and I did confirm that Bailey J is still selling sketchbooks like this, including this strawberry one. There's also a Luna Moth one and a Cat's one, and I may have to get both of those. But for now, pretty content with my strawberries, and I really like the paper that's used for these. Now that I've mostly shaded her skin and the white part of her dress, I've got my 802 to go in and start coloring in skin. The way that blends is not bad at all. I'm sort of doing my lights the same way I would in watercolor or alcohol markers. I just don't add as much pigment in. And this skin coloring is going to encroach on her hair a little bit, but that is also okay. It's kind of nice when they blend together like that. I am getting a little bit of smearing with the graphite, but I'm not super worried about it for this simple sketchbook piece. Like I said, I'm trying to internalize. Nothing needs to be perfect, especially in a sketchbook that I'm I'm just doing for myself. And I'm sort of following the direction I used for the shadows, where I've got it on her wrist here, just so that comes through. And when I'm finished, I'll go back and do all the lines with either brown or black colored pencil. And just to make everything clear, it's not going to be semi-lineless like the Score Bunny. And that's her skin done. I want to blend in a little more around her nose. These don't blend like Prismacolors, but it is pretty decent. Do a little more shadow on her hand here and a little deeper in her face. I'm not going to take the white and go over her dress just yet, though. Instead, we're going in on her eyes, which in her official art are kind of a reddish brown color. These big, simple Akira Toriyama eyes. So of course, the character designs for Dragon Quest are delightful. The slimes are the most famous, probably, but they're all very good designs. And then just do a little bit of darker here. Give her eyes a little bit of shadow and depth. And I actually need more reds than I pulled out because I want to take care of that gem on her forehead. I took out 716, but I think I'm also going to grab number 703. With the eyes, I've kind of said that the light source is over here on the left, so get that there. In the artwork, I'm not really clear on whether this is a gem or just a patch of red in her crest, but I want it to be a gem. Just leave a tiny bit of reflected light over here. And I'm going to take this pinkish color and do her nails real quick. And before I move on to her hair and hood, I'm going to take care of these little orbs of light here. I have 701 and 725. It's the relatively darker 701. And then the lighter 723 to go over. I'm mainly doing that now because of the one that crosses in front of her hair. And to make these clearer, when I'm finished with the character herself, I'll do a backing color like I did with Scorbunny. Probably also blue because she's got a lot of reddish and purple colors with her. Okay. I'm going to do her weird little hood next. I'm going to leave a little unshaded on the edge where the orbs of light are, and I'll go over them a little in yellow. Same with over here. Just have a kind of glow effect. But it's interesting how she has this very modest, almost wimple-like outfit. And then if you look at the art for the original Nintendo NES US release, they felt the need to sex her up in the character art. She's got like thigh highs and a mini skirt and everything, which it's not a bad design. Peronel, with the personality I've gotten to know her with, might not go for such an outfit, but it's not terrible. It's like just another in the history of interesting design choices in early NES manuals. I mean, we've all seen the Mega Man cover art where no one got the memo that he's just a baby. But that's neither here nor there. Little shade. Smooth that out a little. The trim of her robe, the hem, which you can't see, and the sleeves are kind of a light red, but her hood itself is more of a purplish red. So I've got my 717 here, the same one I used for her nails. And we'll just go in with that. Again, this is going to end up encroaching on her bangs a little bit, but one would kind of expect to see a bit of color peeking through where those bangs are really thin and fine. The broad, darker colored area like this, I'm noticing that the Faber-Castell does not lay down quite as smoothly as Prismacolors or the Ohuhu markers, but they are kind of Faber-Castell's budget option rather. And to be honest, I bought them because I thought they looked cool. So I've got that full set. They are doing pretty nicely though. Just gotta get in around the crest. I think I might outline that with the gray blue I'm using for shading rather than black or brown, but we'll get there. A spike at the top. I try to mostly keep the same direction, but sometimes a little cleanup has to go in a different direction. which is fine, of course. But I did mess up my light source a bit here. It should have been over on the left, but I'm excusing myself because she has more of her little magic orbs over here. Here's the top part of her hood. Go over and smooth that out a little bit here and there. I can now move on to the shoulder bit. Doing a little circular motion here and there to try and blend it a little better. I am really enjoying Dragon Quest. I kind of wish I'd gotten hold of it in the Nintendo days, but I'm having a good time now with the remakes. And I can genuinely see why this is so popular. I mean, and you could also argue that it's not just a console RPG, it's the console RPG. Everything else from Final Fantasy to Lufia owes itself to the existence and popularity of Dragon Quest. I'm wanting to pick up a few more of the games. I did pick up 3 where I can play as the original hero, just like in Lufia 2. I'll start that once I do a couple. I usually do 2 playthroughs. And with the first one I did a second playthrough, in part because I didn't realize at first that taking Gwaelin back to Tintagel was optional, so I did a second playthrough keeping her with me the entire time. And it really does add a lot with her commentary because I think his official name is Aleph. The second Erdrick, he just doesn't have much to say. Except in ending cutscenes. Okay. Going to move on now to her trim on her sleeves, which I'll use 703 and 716 for that. The last thing we're going to do will be her hair. So after this, I'll go over the robe in white. And the crest. Yeah, these don't blend as smoothly. Which I'm not sure. I don't think these are oil-based the way other ones I usually use are. Still, they are got a lot of really nice vibrant colors, and they're not bad. I do like them. The next window, I'll do a full piece with my Ohuhus to directly compare them. And we can get some nice shininess. She's a princess. It's probably silk or something in this trim. I think we're gonna go over these shinier areas with a little white. Oh yeah, the white blends pretty nicely. I wonder if it's a different composition from the rest. And I did want to add a little yellow here with the light from the magic orbs. Go ahead and take care of that. Yeah, that actually comes together pretty nicely. I wonder how it would work with me starting with color rather than shading. It's just I'd always heard about that technique, never used it, wanted to try it out, and now I have. It's probably not something I'll use every time, but it's I like how it turned out, especially on her skin in this one. I'll probably try it when I do the Ohuhu piece just to get a comparison on the blending. Oh, and of course I'll link to the Bailey J web store in the description. This really is very nice paper. I'm still impressed with how well it took on the acrylic. Here. And I'm just going to go over all of these white areas in white. Which most of the time I would advise doing that sooner, but I forgot, and since these don't blend very well, you don't really have the problem you would see with like other art colored pencils of the red sneaking out and bleeding in when you go too close to it with a lighter color. Our eyes. Pause. I actually want to do a little shading at the top of her eyes. There. I think I'll actually use a darker blue-gray to outline her dress. I can use all kind of colors, it's fine. And the white on this cream colored paper is pretty subtle, but I think it's a nice look. I'm going to take a second to stretch some. Colored pencils is actually a lot harder on my wrists than markers, which is one of the reasons I ended up moving away from them years ago, but I'm kind of rediscovering how fun they are. It's just, you need to take breaks now and again to stretch, and if it actually starts hurting, don't try to work through that. We need to sharpen a little. The triangular shape of these is great for them not rolling off the table, but a little awkward to, uh-oh, it broke. A little awkward to sharpen. There we go. I thought that felt a little squishy when I was starting again. There's a mark here where a pencil fell from the storage shelf onto the sketchbook while I was setting up, and I keep thinking it's dust or something. It's not. It's there forever. Okay. Now we're going to start in on her hair. I see where I missed an orb. There we go. My 3 purples. I'm actually going to start with the darkest one to get all these curls going. Here and there. Peronel's had a couple of hair colors. She's blonde in some designs, but she's purple in the game I'm playing where I first met her. She's purple in her original NES Japanese illustration. The American version made her blonde, of course. And given half a chance, I'm gonna go with purple. goes in all directions. It looks neater in the sprite than it does in a lot of her art. But I like all these messy curls. And I like that her hair is essentially the same as Gwaylon's, just in a different color. Of the characters, she probably has the strongest resemblance to her ancestors. Eyebrows. Next I'm going to go in with my lightest purple. And just like with her sleeves, I'll probably go over it a little bit with a white. But just a lot of very messy strokes here that more or less follow the curves of the hair as they change. It's coming together now, though. And then my medium purple to kind of bridge here. Excuse me. And our hair changes direction so much, it's a little hard to have cohesive stroke directions, but that's fine. Doesn't have to be perfect. And, you know, she's not at court, she's been out adventuring. So I do like the idea of Gawain and Caradoc helping Peronel and Matilda maintain all that hair on the road. Oh, it's coming out really nice on this side. darkest areas. And there she is. Now to do my outlining, take my darkest red to go over her hood and sleeves. Take the blue-gray for her dress and the crest. Brown for her skin. Finally, black pencil to do the outlines on her eyes. Ended up making one eye a little too small, but that's okay. Alright, now for her background, I want a nice blue. So let me take a look at my swatches. I'm going to go with 738. Okay, just Just not gonna try to get too fancy with this, just shading in all behind her, just so she can pop a little more. Over here. And there you have it, Peronel, Princess of Moonbrooke. Thank you for joining me, and I'll see you next time where I use my Ohuhu colored pencils, and I will probably color Matilda for that one. Have a good day.